Hi there, my name's Anna and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm working a little in my sketchbook and I'm using an old holiday photo for this sketchbook page. And you know, since I can't travel currently due to the pandemic obviously, I just thought I'd go back in time and reminisce a little bit. I took the photo for this on a holiday with my sister on the island of Madeira. And I just thought this photo is very compelling because of the intense blue of the ocean and the orangish red rocks. That's kind of the complementary colors there, just really make this seem very vibrant. And I don't know, I like this photo. I also painted another few scenes from that holiday in my sketchbook, but I only filmed this one, I think. So I hope you enjoy spending a little bit of time with me in my sketchbook, and you're very welcome to paint along if you want to. And if you enjoy the video, remember to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. So into the video, here you can see I've already sketched out the general composition, I guess. I've sketched out the rocks and the horizon line. It's obviously a very simple kind of drawing, so it's perfect if you want to draw along, I guess. Rocks I find are fairly easy to draw. You just use a lot of jagged lines and yeah, that's basically it. And I'm using a micron pen here to do some outlines, and I'm going to rub away my pencil lines now with a kneaded eraser. And for watercolor, I'm using my Mission Gold watercolors, which are inclined to have very intense colors, which isn't suitable, I guess, for every type of painting, but I thought for this very vivid ocean scene, that was perfect. I'm starting to paint in the sky, and I'm just using a flat, or more or less flat wash of blue. I think this was cobalt blue, or was it ultra? I think it was cobalt blue in this case. And I'm just lifting out some clouds with my paintbrush, and I'm also using a paper towel just to dab out some of those clouds. Adding in a little bit of shadow with a purplish grey mixture. Just blending it out a little bit, the harsh edges that I created there. And I'm just starting to add some shadow to some of the rocks. I'm using a mixture of blue and brown mostly, and I didn't pay exact attention to which browns I was using for this, but yeah, mostly I think it was probably burnt sienna and ultramarine blue that I used for this mixture. I might have added some indigo for areas that needed to be extra dark. And basically those kind of mixtures are always good to mix the neutral color, a gray, or if you use a high pigment load, you could even use it as black substitution. And I'm just painting in different areas of the rocks. And now I'm starting to add also some of the very reddish orangish brown. Some more shadow areas now, using wet on dry technique, so it's not going to flow into each other as much and you have more harsh edges. Here's some of the reddish brown, which really gives the painting its vibrancy, I think. And basically for the rocks I'm using a mixture of techniques. Sometimes I'm letting the colours bleed into each other, as some areas of the rocks are very smooth, and in other areas I will use the wet on dry technique, or basically I'm just using a wet paintbrush and I'm working on a dry surface, and that will leave more harsh edges for the areas that are more jagged, and for deep cracks and creases and shadow areas. I find it really enjoyable to paint scenes from holidays. I mean, the nicest is of course if you can paint on the go when you're in the location, but that's not always possible, especially if you're traveling with other people. So it's great to take a lot of landscape photos and then just paint it when you're at home, and it will just keep those memories really fresh and you kind of relive the moment that way. And I haven't been doing as much of landscape painting and holiday photo painting in the past year, I guess, because there hasn't been that many new incidences where I could take good landscape pictures. That's why I've been painting a lot of animals, I guess. Now I'm dropping in some sap green, and the sap green from the set is extremely vibrant, so it doesn't have to be as vibrant as this. And now I'm using a white colored pencil, and this one is a very waxy one, and I'm just sketching in some lines. And when I go over these lines with my watercolor, it will repel the paint and preserve those white areas. I can't, of course, add any more paint to that area. I can't add any more shading or anything. It's just going to remain white in those areas, and it kind of just will symbolize the foam of the ocean, and just areas where there's little waves. And starting with a very intense ultramarine blue in the background, and then I'm adding in some cobalt blue and some cooler blues, and even some green in some areas, turquoise probably also. And as I come to the front, I'm using more sketchy lines because there's a lot more movement there, just to kind of symbolize those little waves and movements. And as you can see, some of the paint's being repelled by the white colored pencil, and some areas I'm also just preserving actively by not painting them in. And I'm also using a bit of a grey mixture for certain areas that just have a bit of shadow to them. And I think the painting already looks very effective, and this is a fairly quick little painting, and it just looks really nice. I'm adding some shadow to the clouds here, and yeah, I think that's probably the entire painting already. Yes, it is. Pulling off the edges, and I'm going to sign it, and I hope you enjoyed this video and that I'll see you again soon. Bye bye!